What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and I'm back. Shout out to the Alliance. Hope everybody having a good day. Productive one, that is. You know, definitely tuned into your brother DS1 Ross. You tuned in to Sheep Stay Sleep TV, where we advise all the sheep to stay asleep. And back tonight, family, with another show. I think this conversation is definitely well needed for our people. See, what we got to focus on, family, is we have to start having conversations that matter. You got to have these pertinent conversations. That's what we have to do, y'all. Because these bullshit conversations is just going to get left in the air, or it's going to create conflict. See, a lot of conflict that's going on in our sector of YouTube is due to the fact that we don't want to have real conversations. You see, we really don't want to look at ourselves, analyze our situation, and come up with solutions. We don't want to do that. We just want to keep passing the bucket of blame. You see? So tonight, we're going to talk about the crab mentality of blacks versus the ant mentality of the Jews. Because see, a lot of us talk about group economics, uh, unity. What else is something a lot of these um, pro-black retards profess? Effective communication. These are all the things I hear, you know, y'all people constantly say. If we are actually displaying those things, then why do us as black people still suffer from this crab mentality? Ask yourselves that, family. Why every time blacks is trying to get something established here, we always seem to think that it's cool to knock each other down, man. To not encourage one another, to not support one another. Why is that still a problem in our community or within our people? Because we suffer from that crab mentality. And black people as a whole suffer from that. See, we may have a few people, you know, who getting money together, who's building and stuff like that. You're gonna always have, you know, your spots of people that's doing things. But as a whole, our community isn't producing anything. Our community is always in debt. Our money is not circulated in our communities. And nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody thinks that that's what we need to be discussing. You see? We treat each other like crabs. And you know, we always hear that, the crab in the barrel mentality. But see, a lot of us are crabs and don't even know it. You see? And the way we keep each other down without you actually pulling somebody down is by making a conscious decision to not support them. To not support them with your time or with your money. Because your time and your attention is also currency. You see? Because the only reason why we respect the dollar is because of the image behind it and the energy that's put behind having those green dollars. But them shits really don't mean nothing. But that's another subject. But black people suffer from this mentality because I believe we're afraid to really be somebody in the world as a group. You see, I believe we only want one Jay-Z. We only want one Russell Simmons. We only want one 50 Cent. When there should be hundreds of them. You see? We only want one Missy Elliott. See? But there's 1,000 Amber Roses. There's thousands of Lyric Galores. When there should be hundreds of black women who are aspiring to be Oprah. Veronica Conway. These are women that our black women should be aspiring to be and helping and building each other to be that way. Same thing goes for the black men. But you know why the inspiration and the motivation is gone in our community? Because we don't want to see each other with nothing. You see? And y'all wonder why I always say I don't compete. But see, because when we compete with each other, that leads to jealousy. This is why it's not lucrative for us to compete with each other. We need to build with each other, relate to one another. Because all competition leads to is envy, hatred, and then that leads to death. You make dinner? Hold on a minute. Pardon me, y'all. That's my son. What you said? What you said? Yeah, it's food here. Mommy gonna serve it. All right. Yeah, pardon me, y'all. But that crab mentality is what plagues our communities. For instance, just look at your communities and tell me how many black stores do you have? We don't have black stores in our inner city communities because black people not building stores. It's because we won't support them. We won't keep them in business the way we keep the Arab in business. You see, we won't keep our people in business the way we keep the Puerto Rican in business, the way we keep the Dominican in business. You see? Y'all are always go in they goddamn store and play y'all numbers. See, in New York, a lot of the Spanish stores got the number machine in there. So people gonna always go in their store. You know, and if you eat pork, you gonna go support the Spanish store because they sell pork. The Ox don't sell pork. So you're gonna always go support them. You're gonna always support the Arab. You're always gonna go buy that Italian pizza. And you're gonna do it without thinking twice. But let a new grocery store come in your neighborhood. And like I said before, you walk in there, they don't got your favorite chips. Your ass might not come back, nigga. And what you gonna do? You gonna talk shit about that store. But how many times you walk in the Ox store and piss a fit because they don't got your favorite chips? How many times do you do that? How many times do you walk in any other store that's of a different culture and catch an attitude because they not treating you right? How many times? Not much, right, black people? Exactly, because we got the crab mentality. We don't look to support each other unless we selling each other drugs, unless we selling each other guns. You see? It's easy for me to get my friends to buy drugs off me than to buy my clothing. If I had my own clothing line and I told them, yo, my t-shirt's $20, first thing they'd say to me, damn, why your t-shirt's $20? I'm your man. You should give me one. I'll promote it for you. Give it to me for free. Or let me get a deal. I'm going to go tell people about it. It's always an excuse. But when your ass go to the Bathing Ape store, which they're making a mockery out of black people, a Bathing Ape, you don't ask them why they charging you $200 for a motherfucking t-shirt. You're not asking them that. But you gonna ask me why I'm charging you $20. You see? A percentage of what you would give Bathing Ape. And that clothing line is ran by Japanese people. You know, Pharrell probably owned a couple stocks, but that's not his company. He's probably one of the partners, but that's a Japanese company. Bathing Ape. They make you pay $200 for a t-shirt, but you won't spend $20 with me. That's the crab mentality. Because you don't want me to have that $20 in my pocket for you buying that t-shirt from me. But if I told you I had some loud, you'd buy $20 worth of that, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? If I told you I had a new P89 for sale, you'll buy that, wouldn't you? Exactly, nigga. Because we think like crabs. We don't want to see each other come up. They're going to find a way to pull your ass back down. And that's the mentality we must destroy. We must destroy that mentality. That mentality is plaguing our community. You know the mentality that plagues the Jewish community? The Ashkenazi Jews? The ones that y'all say control everything? You know why they control everything? Because they think the way ants think. They operate like ants. Watch how ants operate. That's how the Jews operate in your community. When they come in Brooklyn and they going to buy up a new building, you don't see one Jew man. It's one Jew and 3 of his partners who bought that building. Group economics. Just like ants. Ants do everything in a group. Everything. That's the Jews. That's what they do. They don't go into no business unless somebody in their family or somebody associated to their family is getting something out of this business endeavor. They're not competing with one another. They're building their civilization. You see? Watch a crab in a barrel and then watch ants and how they operate. See, Jews operate like ants, but then we complain on why these Ashkenazi white Jews control the media. They control sports. They control every goddamn thing. You know why? Because they are practicing group economics. They are performing effective communication, not competing with each other, loving each other. And you know why they're doing this? Because all of them are considering themselves to be Jews. Now, why black people cannot use the fact that we're all struggling to get our shit together for our people, just for that purpose. I'm going to tell you why we can't do it. Selfishness. That's why. See them Jews? They come and buy up our goddamn neighborhoods with beat up shoes on. How long could we walk around with fucked up shoes, black man? How long could you go without getting a new bag, black woman? Without going to the Chinks and getting your nails done, black woman? Huh? See, that's what the Jews do. They sacrifice to have the bigger things in life. See, when are we going to put our egos aside so we can really do something? Because, see, that's what the Jews don't have a problem with. They don't have a problem with seeing their people grow and seeing their community flourish. We're not community thinkers. We're community talkers. We just talk that shit. We just talk that shit. Come on. That's what we trying to do. We want to talk our way through this shit. But how many of us could not buy TVs and furniture during tax season? How many of us could really have that type of discipline? How many of us? Not a lot of us, because a lot of us are not willing to sacrifice for the greater good. And that's why year after year, you watch these Jews take over more and more cities. And then y'all wondering why. Y'all crying about gentrification. Gentrification exists because of the group economics that the Jews is putting forth in these poor communities. Because you know what these Jews are showing the politicians? That we're helping rebuild the community. When we should be doing that. Or we should at least be part of it. If we're not going to spearhead it, at least be a part of it. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. You see? And this is the problem. But then we cry about gentrification. Gentrification is all about business. They pushing you out if you can't pay. It's business. It's not personal. If you can't afford the rent, get out. And you can't be mad at them for doing that. It's business. See, maybe if the majority of us was to start getting into economics and business and having that mindset, we will stop being so personally affected by shit. And we'll stop running around here professing bullshit. And we'll actually be getting shit done instead of sitting around calling people names all day. Because see, while you calling the white man a cracker, he buying up your motherfucking block. You see? So you think you calling him a cracker and a honky and a this and a that, do you think that's really doing something? Do you think that's affecting change? Huh? You think that's affecting change because you calling out swirlers? Come on, man. We have to understand what it's about. And it's about business. I see somebody put in the chat, they talking about organized crime. Organized crime is about business. That's what runs America. Business. Business. You could call them criminals all you want. Business is business. Now, if you want to take it personal, that's what you could do. But guess what? The only thing personal is business. So if you ain't dealing with that, you ain't dealing with shit. And that's the problem. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the chat too. Shout out to everybody for coming through. But we need to adopt that ant mentality. Exactly, John Doe. Why not replicate it? We need to adopt the ant mentality. I ain't gonna say your name because you want some attention. That's why you talking stupid in the chat. Because you want some attention. You know what I'm saying? But that's the mentality we need to adopt. The ant mentality. You know what I'm saying? But we not doing that because we so busy trying to look better than the next person. And see, that all comes out of not having shit. You see? That comes out of not having any self-worth and pride. Because now the only thing that make us prideful is a pair of Gucci slippers. Not having our own business. Not being able to pass a business down to our children. That's not what we take pride in anymore. We don't take pride in our children respecting themselves and looking at themselves in a high self-esteem, bro. You know what I'm saying? No doubt, T-Duck. I hear you, bro. But that's what we don't do. And that's what we need to be doing. Stop sitting around throwing all these names out. When we need to be focused on us. We need to get rid of this crab mentality and not supporting each other and having a problem with supporting each other. All these cigarettes we smoke. We don't talk about why we support Philip Morris. Philip Morris is a billionaire. His family is wealthy. Why? Because people smoke tobacco. But nobody talks about how much money we give them. Nobody talks about that. You see? And that's the problem. That is a problem that we have within us. We want to compare ourselves to everybody, but we're not doing what everybody else is doing to be successful. And that's a problem, y'all. That's a problem. Group economics and all of these things we like to talk about, that's all the ant mentality that the Jews have. So stop complaining about the Jews controlling TV, controlling this, controlling that. Because they did what they were supposed to do, unify. And they unified under what? They unified under being Jews, under going through the Holocaust. So my people are never going to go through this shit again. They made that decision as Jews. When are we going to do that? As slaves. When are we gonna say, listen, I'm stopping this bullshit. This shit needs to stop. Because I don't want my children to grow up in this. And see, this is the problem. We have to stop for that reason. We have to break the curse. And the way we break the curse is we got to sacrifice certain shit. We have to. So give up all these petty arguments, man. You know what I'm saying? Give up these little bullshit arguments and all these little faggoty little gripes that we like to have about shit. Because that's all it is. Little emotional gripes that equals up to nothing. That's not helping us. It's destroying us. We need to be more like ants and less like crabs. More like ants and less like crabs. Because that's how we act. We act like little crabs, man. Little crabs. We got to stop being freeloaders. That's the crab mentality. Stop freeloading off each other. Support each other. If a person has something and you like what they represent and you got some money to support them, support them. Spend that money. What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with that? Donate to people. That's about something. You donate to your goddamn oppressor every day. Why not donate to your people? Why can't we do that? And why must we keep making excuses on why we don't do it? Because we crabs. We crabs. Whenever we see somebody with the potential to make it out of their situation, we try our best to make sure they motherfuckers stay there. And that's the problem. That is the problem that we need to fix within ourselves. That don't got shit to do with no motherfucking white people. Get that shit out you head, dumb niggas. The crab mentality don't have nothing to do with white people. Okay? Okay, niggas? That don't got nothing to do with white folks. That ain't got nothing to do with white supremacy. None of that. None of that. Because all these self-proclaimed pro-black scholars we got on YouTube ain't built shit yet. All these niggas did was build scams. These niggas ain't built nothing yet. So don't tell me we don't have the ant mentality of the Jews because of white supremacy. I don't want to hear that bullshit. I don't want to hear that bullshit because it's bullshit. And we got to stop spending our time on bullshit like that. Sitting around having all these goddamn long ass conversations about nothing. Y'all having 8-hour conversations crying. Because that's all the fuck y'all be doing. Crying. Crying about what's wrong. But ain't gonna do shit. But sit there and cry. Ain't even gonna change nothing in their household. I'm gonna ask you niggas something. I wonder how many of you pro-black niggas in YouTube, how many of y'all live that shit that y'all talking? And when I say live it, I'm talking about your culture in your house. Do your children eat a certain way? Do you eat a certain way? Do y'all support black business? You see what I'm saying? Just simple shit. That all you pro-black retards, because y'all the crabs, because y'all the motherfuckers who don't support nobody. Y'all the motherfuckers who don't support people. The motherfuckers who got all this eloquent shit to say. You see? Come on. How many of y'all is actually exercising this shit in y'all house? Y'all like to talk about the schools being fucked up. How many of y'all homeschool? Y'all like to talk about how the food being fucked up. How many of y'all got gardens where y'all growing y'all own shit? Come on, man. It's just talk. And you know why we talk like that to each other? Because we want to sound the smartest. We want to be so superior to each other. Instead of saying, listen, we all fucked up. We all come from slavery. So let's unify under that concept and under us all being black, and let's get our shit together. That was the reason for Jay-Z making this new album. See, he was talking to all you pro-black retards and was telling y'all niggas, let's unify and get our credit right. Let's unify and buy real estate. Stop buying Gucci's, nigga. Stop going to the club throwing $50,000, $60,000. Stop going on Instagram, putting up stacks of money to your ears. He was talking to you niggas. He was telling y'all to get out that crab mentality. See, that's what he was doing. That's what he was doing. Think more like the ants. That's what Jay was telling us to do. Think more like the ants, because that's how his partners, which are Jews, Leo Cohen, you know, Todd Moskowitz, these are Jews. And he watched how them Jews conduct themselves. This is why he created the Carter administration, where he's around like-minded people such as himself. They think like ants. We're going to build a bridge so we can cross with our food. So 30 ants going to line up while these other ants cross over them. We don't think like that. You know how we think? Nigga, if you fall in the pit, then you fall in the pit. If I get over, I'm happy because I'm over. Fuck you. You see? But the ants come together, lock arms and legs, and build a goddamn bridge. Crabs just try to jump over and make it to the next side. And whoever make it, and whoever don't. And that's the mentality that's killing our community. But then we sit around and be mad at everybody else. You see? So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I pretty much said what I had to say, man. I just had to talk about this because I'm tired of us making excuses for not supporting each other. I'm tired of us making excuses for fucking being freeloaders. Because that's what we do. We freeload off each other. We expect everything to be fucking free. Then why you don't expect your Chinese food to be free, nigga? Why my food gotta be free? Because it's mine, right? Come on, man. We gotta kill that mentality. We have to. We gotta kill that shit. We talking about competing on a world scale. We don't have shit as a people. So we can never compete with the other peoples of the world. We can never compete with them. We don't have shit. And we don't have shit as a group. Our money does not circulate in our community. They said the black dollar stays in the community for 6 hours. 6 hours before a nigga go buy some Chinese food. You see? So the people out here with the resources need to get together with the people with the ideas. So if you a nigga that don't know what to do, but you just got money and you want to support your people, start supporting people that got shit going. That's what we need to start doing. Let's start spreading this information. Let's start spreading the wealth. That's what we have to do. So our children are not forced to just deal with each other when we selling drugs to each other. Because if we was doing that shit, what you think our children gonna be doing? You think college gonna save your fucking kids? It's more drug dealers in college than in the streets. You think college is gonna save your children because your kids go to school? That's what you think? I'm gonna tell you what's gonna save your children. Effective thinking. That's what's going to save them. Them being conscious of who they are and the role they need to play in society. That's what's going to save them. That's what's going to keep them focused. You see? They need to already know who they are before they hit college. They need to already have a plan on where they want to be and who they want to be in life before they hit college. But see, a lot of black people, we send our children to college for them to find themselves. And did you know what they find themselves doing? Selling drugs, partaking in homosexuality, doing drugs. You know how many college students are criminals? You know how many college students right now are selling drugs? Because they can't get a job. I'm talking about educated black men that's out in the streets hustling. There's plenty of them. Plenty of them. See, that's the conversation we need to have. And that's why we need to start supporting each other. So we can stop selling drugs. So we can stop selling guns and stop partaking in criminal activity. You see? But we just gonna sit back and complain about the problem. But we're not gonna partake in the solutions. That's the problem. And that's what every other culture decided to do. They decided to attack the problem. And the way we attack the problem is by unifying. Because that's the core base of the ants. They're unified because they're all our ants. We need to unify because we are all black and we come from the same struggle. Point blank, period. That's what we need to unify under. Under that. Under that. That's the start. And then we could work out the kinks when we unify. Because see, unity is powerful. And most people are afraid of unity. You know why? Because when you're part of a group, when you're part of an organization, you're responsible and held accountable for what the fuck you do. And the part you said you were going to play. This is why niggas don't want to unify. Because they don't want to be held accountable for what they do. You see? This is why people don't want to join organizations. because they don't want to be held accountable for what the fuck they do. Peace to everybody in the chat. That's the problem. That's why we won't unify, because it's power in there. You got to work. You have to do something. You have to be held accountable. You have to take risk. This is shit that the average black person don't want nowadays. We want everything to be smooth sailing. That's what we want. We want it all to be smooth sailing. Everything is a cruise. That's why when niggas get their tax money, they go on cruise ships. Because they think life is a cruise. And that's what we've been doing forever. Cruising our ass on welfare. Cruising our ass on food stamps. Cruising our ass on social, on SSI. Cruising our ass through life. And then when the Jew cruise his ass in on our block and buy up our fucking buildings and kick our grandmothers out, we crying. Because while you niggas was cruising on cruise ships, these niggas was sitting back planning. See? That's what they was doing. While you was laughing at them for getting on the train because they smell like shit and got beat up sneakers on, they coming back to buy your hood now, nigga. Laugh at them now. And in the next 5 to 10 years, you won't be paying rent no more to them. You'll be paying rent to their motherfucking children, nigga. Laugh at that. Laugh at that. You'll be paying your rent to their children. But we don't want to get it together. We don't want to get it together. See that? We don't want to put our bullshit differences to the side and get it together. You see what I'm saying? That's what we don't want to do. We want to cruise our way through shit. Something wrong with that, man. When you look at an ant or an ant colony or an ant farm, what are ants always doing? Working. But they work in what? In unison. So you may have 100 ants over here carrying this apple, but they're bringing this piece of apple to the other 500 ants that's over there. We ain't doing that no more. Nigga won't even give you a piece of bread. You could have been hanging out with him all day. Won't even ask you, yo, bro, you hungry? You know? Think about that, brother. When the last time you hung out with a brother and he asked you, was you hungry? See, that tells you where niggas' mindsets is at. You see? You thirsty, brother? How you doing today? Yo, you good? Yo, bro, you all right? Do we do that to each other? No. No. And you know why we don't do that? Because we evaluate each other based on social game rules. That's what we do. So you think a nigga who don't have money is supposed to be depressed. Because they tell you if you ain't broke, you supposed to be depressed. You ain't got no money, nigga. Why you smiling? Why you got so much good things to say? But the nigga who pulling up in that Aston Martin, That nigga could be 2 hours away from killing himself. You see? The mentality. Being a crab is a mentality. We talking about the mentality of the crab. So we need to discuss mental health. A lot of us are depressed and destroyed. This is why it's easy for when two black men to get into an issue, the first thing he say is, fuck that nigga. I kill that nigga. Why you think that's the first thing we say? Man, fuck that nigga. I kill that nigga. Crab mentality. That's that crab. That's that crab. That's that crab. That's that crab. It's very rare that you even see these Jews bickering and beefing. And when they bickering and beefing, they're doing it in a controlled forum. You know how they beef? You know how they beef? Competition. Competition. IBM versus Mac. Microsoft versus this. That's their beef. That's their beef. Our beef is, you stepped on my phone posits, nigga. Crab shit. Crab shit. Come on, man. We have to really start to critically analyze our real issues, man. You see? We got to get it together. We got to get our fucking minds right. That's what we need to do. And the ones who are serious, man, it's a process, but we got to trust the process. That's what we have to do. We have to trust the process. Trust that it will work. We see it works with all these other different ethnic groups. It works. It worked for the Chinese. It works for the Japanese. It works for the Korean. It works for the Italians. It works for the Arab. Why can't it work for us? Because we won't allow it to work. Because we don't trust the fucking process. We want it to happen overnight. We want microwave success. But you're microwave thinking niggas. And this is why black men can't get out of hustling and running the streets. A lot of black men is hustling not because they want to. They hustling out of depression, out of hopelessness. Because I got to feed my child. How can I go in the house and not have no money to feed my child? Then I'm not a man. You see? And this is the conversation black men need to be having. And why we need to really start fucking supporting ourselves. So our fucking sons could stop growing up and idolizing hustlers. Because I know I did. Because my father was a working man. But guess what happened? Nobody respects the working man. Not even the average black woman. Because even she's attracted to the fast life. You see that? We have to change the narrative. And the way we do that, black men, is let's get the fuck out of our egos, man. Get the fuck out of our egos, man. Let's get out of our egos, dude. Always wanting to be fucking cute. Be a man. Fuck being cute, nigga. That's what's wrong with us. We want to be fucking cute. If a woman's attracted to you, she attracted to you whether you shop at Walmart, nigga, or whether you shop at Foot Locker. What you got on your feet don't make you a man. We got to start preaching that to our boys. What you have don't make you who you are, young man. What's inside of you make you who you are. Like Jay said, you was who you was before you got here. So what he's saying in retrospect is everything you are is within. It's not without. See, we got to preach that to our children. Because our children are being destroyed. Why you think a lot of children get bullied? A lot of children get bullied because they not coming to school looking up to par. Oh, nigga, you a bum. You don't wear Jordans. Now imagine a little boy that got to hear that every day. That's not going to make him want to go to school. He'll start hating school. He don't want to educate himself no more. He want to run the street so he can look good, so he can be accepted. This is why it's important. And see, if black men stood together and started supporting each other, our women will start to respect us more. You see? But when you got niggas out here saluting dumb shit, out here portraying dumb shit, you know what that lets our women know? These is a bunch of dumb niggas. Because you got groups of dumb niggas running around. And do you know what else that does? That fucks with the mind, that fucks with the perception of us with our women. Because then a woman could say, damn, he's a cool dude. But now I just see all of that was a front. You see what I'm saying? So it's our job, black men, to build men. Men have to be built. A man don't just grow into a man. They have to be built up. And you can't build them up with fake shit and falsehoods. That's why these young boys running out in the streets. Because we lied to them. We lied to them. We told our sons, nigga, if you go to school, you'll come out and get a good job and you don't have to commit crime. That was a lie. That was a lie that we tell our children. If you go to school, you don't have to commit crimes. That's a lie. I went to school. I got a goddamn degree and still sold drugs. And still partook in bullshit I ain't had no business. And my parents both went to work. You see? But see, when you're taught false ideologies that society pushes on your parents out of poverty and depression, and they put it on their kids. See, our parents only told us to go to school because they felt that that was going to give us a better chance, because that's what they didn't do. So they thought that would work. You see? And this is why I say we have to start teaching from a real space. Start teaching from a real space. See, we're not going to support each other if we don't find each other important, black man. See, you don't find niggas important. That's why you won't support a nigga. Because you don't find us to be important, nigga. That's why. See? That's why, nigga. That's why you will complain about supporting another black man. Because you don't find him to be important. You see? Until he die. Then everybody want to revere him. All this rest in peace, Dick Gregory. Rest in peace, Dick Gregory. And rest in peace to the great elder. But there was a lot of black people who didn't like his position on things. See? Just like y'all motherfuckers talk shit about Tariq Nasheed. But I bet you when that man pass away, y'all understand his greatness and why y'all should have supported him and why y'all should have bought every goddamn Hidden Colors. See that? See? And that's the problem. That's the problem. That is the problem, y'all. The crab mentality. We need to think more like ants. And I ain't saying think like ants because they're small. If you watch the way ants do things, that's what I'm talking about. You see? So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all let me know. Y'all want to get on? I'll throw the link in the chat. I know it's a few trolls. You know, hopefully, none of y'all haters try to stop this show. But I'm gonna throw the link in the chat in a minute, and I'm gonna let people come on and touch on this subject, man. But this is something that we really, really need to discuss, man, because there's too much bullshit going on, y'all. And we gotta stop thinking it's okay to support the wrong people. You see? You know why niggas supported Polite? I'm gonna tell y'all why most people supported Polite. Because he's the embodiment of the social construct of what black men's supposed to be today. He's supposed to look like a dressed up homosexual. He's supposed to have Gucci, Louis, Prada, all of that shit. All of that. He's supposed to be all about money. He's supposed to be lit. Oh, he lit. You know that lingo. He's supposed to be lit. But is his motherfucking pineal gland lit is the real question. See, we know Polite shit dead and gone. Because he's all about self. Egotistical nigga. And that's the crab mentality. Crab. And that's what we suffer from. And that's what's stopping us. Niggas. That's what's stopping us. But you niggas want to use white supremacy. We all know white supremacy exists. We all know that. But what are we going to do to still make it in this world? Because it ain't going to go nowhere. It's not going to go nowhere. So what are we going to do to survive within the system? Every other culture done it. I mean, every other ethnic group has done it. Why can the Chinese come and flourish in America? Why can the Koreans do it? But the Black Americans can't? Why not? Because we in our own motherfucking way. At the same time, we dealing with an oppressive system. See, I'm not going to exclude the oppressive system. That's there. That's in place. That ain't going nowhere. But see, we got the double whammy. We got the double whammy because on top of the oppressive system, we created our own oppressive system within ourselves to be crabs. To be crabs. Oh, I don't like his perspective on things. I'm going to hit the dislike button. Crab ass nigga. Just because they disagree with you, they're going to dislike your shit. Crabs. You see? Don't focus on the messenger. Let's focus on the message, y'all. Let's focus on the message. The message is what's important. Oh, I ain't gonna donate to him. Who the fuck he think he is? He the nigga that you need to be listening to. So maybe your mentality can expand, nigga. But you niggas will go and listen to Dr. Drew and watch Dr. Drew and watch Dr. Phil. You pay a cable bill to watch them niggas. But you won't donate to a brother who's here, a brother of the struggle like you. This is why I say, man, we gotta heal before we build. That's my motto. It's been my motto since I stepped on the YouTube scene, and it's gonna always be. And shout out to all the people who've been using it too, because I've been hearing it. But just know where it came from. But that's why I say that, man. Because we not gonna get by. We not gonna get by being crabs. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat, man. Anybody that want to come on and render their voice on this topic, you can. You know, this is a judgment-free zone, a no debate zone, a no competition zone. So there go the link, y'all. Whenever y'all ready, y'all are welcome, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out for everybody coming through, man. Shout out to everybody for coming through. Let's stop crying about the Jews. The Jews had a plan from the goddamn time. They probably was sitting back planning this shit while they was in the Holocaust, while they was in these gas chambers and all that. They been sitting back planning for this shit. And what we've been doing. What we've been doing since slavery. Most of us been sitting back whining, sitting back crying on these streams. Crying. You so pro-black and gangster though. But you sitting back crying. Come on, man. People crazy, man. Gotta stop this bullshit. Gotta stop embarrassing ourselves. We got all this self-pride and self-worth. Let's start showing it, man. And the way we need to show it is by actually putting something together and doing something, man. Oh, shout out to my brother Rob. Peace, bro.
Peace to you, good brother tonight, man. Hey, listening to you, fam, man, got me fired up, man. Got me fired up. So of course, I got a couple of things to say on the subject, but man, peace to you tonight, good brother, man. How everything, man? It sounds like you a little fired up too, fam.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely fired up a little bit, bros. Cause I'm just tired of certain shit, man. Like, a lot of us brothers are going through a lot of things, man, and a lot of us, we try to sit back and act like this shit don't exist, man. But it's for real. A lot of us brothers who are trying to do the right thing, who trying to stay on, on that narrow path, man. It's hard because it's a lot of our own brothers that won't support us, that constantly, it's no motivation there. It's just a bunch of bullshit. And shit gets to brothers that's about shit. We get tired of sitting around and bullshitting with people, and that shit becomes it becomes irritating, bro. And I just had to speak on this shit because the same motherfuckers who sitting back and complaining about shit is the motherfuckers who are the most irritating people. They sit around, they complain all day. They cry about everything being a certain way, but then they don't support nobody. A motherfucker asks them to spend $2, $3 with them. They got a problem with that. Like, come on, man. It's like, come on. But then we always talk about the Jews. We like to, the Illuminati, the Jews. Motherfucker, the Jews put a plan together and decided to take over the motherfucking world. That's why they did what they did. They didn't do it because, we're going to take over the world because we hate niggas. No, no. And we have to get that out of our mind, brother. We have to stop thinking like that, on that emotional, dumb, retarded shit. That's not why they're doing what they're doing. They ain't
Right.
gentrify black neighborhoods because they're black. No, they gentrify them because the goddamn property taxes is low. It's cheap to buy this fucking building, so I'm buying it. I'm buying it.
Well, well, I mean, me, of course, I would consider myself a student of history, you know what I'm saying? So I look at it from a historical perspective. And I would say that um, from Reconstruction, this is a period in history a lot of people are not familiar with, but after our people suffered under Reconstruction, then rebuilt themselves from there. Um, then the Red Summer of 1919 happened, right? Then the stock market crashed, right? And then World War II. After World War II, the black community as a whole has never been able to reconstruct themselves at the level that we was at, and so historically, if you was to look at it, this was around the time that the Garvey movement died out. Thurgood Marshall came to prominence, things of this nature, right? And we felt like we made it after the civil rights movement, and we took a couple of years off, and then they dropped that crack bomb on us. You know what I'm saying? I look at crack as like a nuclear weapon. You know what I mean? Like in the black community, and I would say that this crab mentality is more of a symptom of how the crack game lowered our morals and ethics toward each other. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a symptom. And so let me paint a picture for you, fam. You know what I'm saying? Say, for instance, you know what I'm saying? You a shorty, right? You live on the south side of Chicago, right? You know what I'm saying? You got 8 balls, and I mean, as soon as you sell this 8 ball, you can go back and get another one, and they'll be proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Might throw you one for free just because you came back so quick, right? All right. You making $1,000 a week. My mama go to work every day. She make $500 a week, right? On top of that, right? Your customers are working people that look like my mama, look like your mama. On top of that, you know what I'm saying? Father not at home. On top of that, miseducation. On top of that, the media presence. On top of that, you know what I'm saying? All of the hurt and pain inside our families where we done heard stuff like, you know what I'm saying? I don't mess with niggas. I don't do business with niggas. You know what I'm saying? Man, fuck these bitches. And you know what I'm saying? All a bitch can do for me is XYZ. And I don't even want to get into all of the vulgarity, right? But you know what I'm saying? Painting that picture, you know what I'm saying, along with the crack era and then the failure of our leaders and all, you know what I'm saying? I can see how people are a little toxic, you know, but once you get grown, once you get grown, you know, you have a responsibility. It's a quote I give my students all the time by Dr. Martin Luther King, one of the most misunderstood men in history, right? He say, there is nothing more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. We have a moral obligation to be intelligent, right? Once you get grown, it's your responsibility to watch the news. It don't matter how sad it is. What you have to be is fucking aware. Most people, when I get to talking about the history of Chicago and they as live here, they kids coming to my school and don't know who Fred Hampton is. They kids coming to my school and don't know who Harold Washington is. You see what I'm saying? So this is where, you know what I'm saying, for people who understand what I'm trying to say, that responsibility, it gotta start with you. It don't matter how disrespectful or dishonorable people are. It's a certain level of integrity you have to carry yourself with. And if you keep seeing disrespect and dishonor everywhere you go, maybe you might be the motherfucking magnet. You see what I mean? With your actions and your words. You see what I'm saying? So the first thing, and I say it in the chat all of the time, self-development is key. Just because somebody acting a fool don't mean that it's time for you to start acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? Man, D1, I ain't no jab at you, brother. I can understand. I'm not Job, brother. I run out of patience too. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking to myself as you was talking, we had talked on back chats in the past, and I was saying my strategy on YouTube gonna be, man, I'ma just ignore niggas, right? But like, man, I'm starting to believe that like maybe that's foolish for me to sit here and try to turn a blind eye to all of the foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to speak on it. And I mean, I got thick skin, man. I get called, hey, look, you talking about crab mentality. Hey, in the morning, bro, when I'm saying good morning to my students, right, when they coming in, you know what I say, good morning, how y'all doing? How you doing, young lady? You know what the young lady said to me? What's good about it? Good morning, what's good about it? Why the fuck is you so fucking happy? Because you got a job, nigga? Ha ha ha, and everybody start laughing. Do you see? They sharing that mentality. They sharing that mentality. Now, unfortunately, they learned it from somebody. Oh shit, Rob. They learned it from somebody, fam. Mm-hmm. You know who they motherfucker learned it from? They mama and daddy. Sitting around listening to y'all calling each other bitches and smoking weed in front of them and stumbling and shit. Can't even get 2 sentences is out talking about go in your room. Drunk as hell off of Hennessy all in front of your kids. Oh yes. Oh yes. See, self-development is key. And here go the key, fam. Here go the key to self-development. The first thing you got to do is be humble. You not perfect. I'm not perfect. We ain't got all of the answers. But what the number one thing we can do, fam, is look at our faults and say, hey, and be honest with your goddamn self. Hey, I need to fix that. I'm always turning up on the motherfucker at the drop of a hat. I need to fix that. It got to come from you first. You see, that's how respect work. Unfortunately, you're not going to get none if you don't have any respect for people. That's just fucking the facts, fam. If you going around being disrespectful, guess what, fam? A motherfucker is gonna be disrespectful towards you at all times. That's just what it is, fam. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's a natural law. It's a spiritual law. Reaping and sowing. If you plant grass seeds, you getting grass. If all you did was put manure out there, guess what you gonna get, fam? Weeds. That's what you gonna get. You ain't putting no seeds out there. And speaking about seeds, right? And this is why we need patience with our people. And I'm gonna shut up after this. You see, if you put a seed in the ground, if you can picture a seed, right? It's hard on the outside. The amino acids and the things that's necessary for life, they on the inside, right? So guess what gotta happen? It gotta be some destruction. That seed literally gotta crack in order to produce life. What is life? Life is the ematology, right? Life is living in the full essence. That's what life is, living in full essence. That's what it is. So I got an ematology dictionary. I'll give it to you. I'll share it with you. All it costs about like $95. Yeah. You might came by 3-5, well, a couple of days or so. Yeah, go spend about $100 and get your ematology dictionary. If I'm sounding deep, it ain't deep. All you got to do is just go look it up. But yeah, living in full essence of whatever it is, that seed, fam. It got to be some destruction. You got to be willing to lay down your ego and lay down that foolish type of pride, right? See, if you're going to have some pride in what you did for somebody, how you helped somebody, not pride in exposing motherfuckers, not pride in the ability to drink a whole fifth of Hennessy to the head. You shouldn't have pride in that. Maybe have some pride in some type of presentation that you brought to the community that gave everybody that aha moment. Yeah, take pride in that. But just wanted to share that analogy about a seed. Cause see, I'm the son of a country boy, so a lot of my analogies gonna be dealing with nature. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fool, I'm not naive. My father, he was a sharecropper. You see, he from Greenwood, Mississippi. They call it Mississippi. Yeah. So I'm humbled by nature. I was raised by a country boy that taught me everything that I need to know about dealing with niggas. Here it is. This is what he say. June. This is what he say. You gotta know who you dealing with. Givers will never be takers, and takers will never be givers. If you looking for a motherfucker to give you something and he'll take you a fool, not him. He just being who he is. You got to know who you dealing with. Man, I'm a fall back. My fault. Like I said, I was just fired up, man. I'm about to shut up now, bro. But I had to get it out, man.
Nah, you good, bro. You good, man. I'm this is what we need, man. I love this, man. I love this. I would love to have a panel of brothers up here spitting that fire right now, the way you was just spitting it, because this is what we need. This is the type of, conversing that could wake a dead nigga up. This is the conversation that could wake a young stone, a young lord, a young blood, a young crip, a young disciple, and may motivate him to say, man, listen, this shit bigger than me. Because at one point, the brothers who fathered those organizations made that decision and said, this shit is bigger than me. It's bigger than me. It's gonna surpass us. So we have to set it up a certain way so it could stay intact. But somewhere down the line, like you said, bro, we lost that because, like you said, the symptom of the crab mentality is what we dealing with now. And it's because of the loss of a lot of things. But see, my issue is this. I'm talking to the people who claim they know. See, once you have the information, there's no more excuses for making the wrong decisions. Once you know there's only two options, right or wrong, whatever choice you choose, that's on you. And then you can't complain about the results. So if we're sitting here complaining about dudes like Tommy Sotomayor, but then we won't support an angry man, we won't support a Jap, we won't support a O'Shea, we won't support a Steve the Dean Williams, we won't support the good brothers, but then we complain about Tommy getting support. You see what I'm saying, bro? That's that crab shit. That's that crab shit. You will complain.
Yeah, I'm gonna weigh in on that real quick, fam.
Go ahead, bro.
And I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking about this young man right now. Man, rest in peace to this brother, man. His name was Charles Macklin. And he was a student at my school. He lost his life this weekend. You see? And was he a perfect individual? Nah, he wasn't a perfect individual, and he did some things that, of course, he wasn't supposed to be doing. But in truth, right? In truth, a lot of us don't believe that individually we have any power. The paradigm that the media portrays our people, right? And then us accepting that definition, right? See, that's what knowledge of self is about. It's the ability for you to be able to define yourself. When somebody start talking about the Christian church, right? You don't have to lean on somebody else's definition of what the Christian church is, because you done did the knowledge, you done did the history, you done heard the authorities on this. And so now, boom, even though, you know, whatever your ideology might be, you can still respect them people because you have enough self-confidence in what you believe that you don't have to knock somebody else down to prop yourself up. You know, just because your paradigm is, you know, all of the sources of every religion in the world come from ancient Kemet. And I mean, you know, if in truth, if I'm looking at history and looking at documentation, right? Of course, you know, it's circumstantial, right? But of course, you know, that is what the history look like it point to. But that don't mean that I'm gonna use the information I got to knock my brother down. The only reason we exercise that power over each other because we powerless to work in the society in which we live. And if we were to put our collective energy together, you know what I'm saying? If we was to do that, we know that we gonna be up for a fight. And I think that we're afraid of that fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what I really and truly believe. Hey, did nobody that's in this chat or on them blocks, you know what I'm saying? Did nobody felt compelled to go up to Charlottesville with they shiny shit and go toe to toe with them dudes with them AKAs? You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth, bro. That's just the truth. The reason why you didn't feel compelled to do that, right? It's because we don't have the cultural identity to love your brother through his faults and fight all his enemies. We don't have that kind of cultural identity, that kind of cultural love. So that's why we can judge somebody like Charles Macklin, right? Who lost his life, you know what I'm saying? But you know, yeah, he a gangbanger? Yeah. Was he a gangbanger? Yeah. Did he sell drugs? Yeah. Yeah, he did. But we don't even have enough empathy in our heart to understand the symptoms that produce the Charles Macklin. We won't even take enough intellectual curiosity to look into some of the things that we be talking about. Oh man, that's just that deep talk. And then they gonna sit there and watch goddamn the Cubs or the Bears or, you know what I'm saying, you know, doing anything, fucking off time though. You know what I'm saying? Don't understand nothing about reality and ain't even willing to address it in a significant way. It hurt, fam. It hurt. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could do more, but it hurt, fam. It hurt.
And I salute you, bro. I mean, you doing something that I always wanted to do. You know, I always wanted to be in that mix, you know, to be around that energy with the children. And so I commend you at all times, bro, because that shit'll break me down too, man. I know it fucks with you when you come home and you have to deal with that. But we have to understand, you know, just how real it is.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
because it's really real and it's serious, man. It's serious. And like you said, bro, we don't like to think about the reasons why Charles Macklin was the way he was. And this is why I was a little bit angry earlier on why we not supporting each other as black men, because that's what produces brothers to want to go out in the streets. Because that brother probably didn't have nobody to say, yo, listen, as long as you get good grades, you could get whatever you want. I'll buy you this. I'll do this for you, so you don't have to go out in the streets. You see that?
No doubt.
I don't think that brother had that type of support system around him. And that's the problem. That's that crab shit that's destroying us. The Jews have the ant mentality. This brother can't feed himself. Let's bring him some bread.
No doubt.
And one person not gonna bring him some bread. We all gonna chip in and bring him 20 goddamn loaves.
Right.
You
so
see what
bread is no longer an issue. Right.
Exactly, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
So then he can focus on self-development.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
So what you saying, bro, is powerful, bro. And I salute you 30 times because you working directly with them. That's your job. You know, I work with the youth, but I'm not getting paid for it. These is my little homeboys on the block. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is your profession.
Right.
I salute you for that, bro.
Well, man, bro, you just don't know how powerful it is, right? For the teacher at Shorty school that you working with, you just show up like, yeah, I was just checking on him today, just trying to make sure he stay in line. And they got somebody to call, like if dude cutting school, like you know where he at? He at the weed spot around your crib. Hey, nigga, wait, get your ass to school. You know what I'm saying? Man, bro, that's what I be needing, bro. I just be needing one person, fam. One person out the family to know where Shorty at. Man, I don't know. Man, bro. I mean, I'm not trying to pin no roses on myself, man. You know what I'm saying? I put myself into this. You know what I'm saying? I put myself into this. You know, so I mean, and every time a Shorty decided to do well, he did that. All I did, all I did was hold him accountable to what I said I was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I did the same thing for Charles. And you know, for people that's in Chicago that's in the chat, if you listening, you know I'm enrolling for the upcoming school year. All they got to do is show up this Wednesday, 17 North State. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that's all you have to do. We start at 10 a.m. Don't be late, cause I ain't gonna let you in at the about 10:30 on the real. You're not coming in at the 10:30. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be somewhat serious about getting in school. But you would get your diploma, and I put you in the matrix. You're going to either walk away with a trade, or I'm sending you to school. It's going to be them the two options you got, bro. When you fuck with me, if your kids come and mess with me, and yeah, I got choice language for them, hey, let me just not even sugarcoat it, right? Right? Hey, I have to give it to shouties in a row because nobody ever did. You know what I'm saying? So I tell them out loud, nigga, if you keep doing the shit you doing, your ass going to the grave, bro. That's what it is, nigga. And I have to say it just like that. Man, fuck you, man. I'll be a man, fuck you. I don't want to show up at your funeral. You see what I mean? So, nigga, you bring your ass, and I say it just like that. So, I mean, you know, it ain't all sweet, and I don't get to be, professional 24/7. You know what I'm saying? My job 24/7. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the only reason my phone ain't ringing because we ain't in school. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. But man, anybody that know anybody that's listening in the chat, you in the Chicagoland area, Shorty dropped out of school, got kicked out of school, got pushed out of school. She got pregnant and she don't know if she ain't gonna have enough credits to graduate on time. Send her to me, 17 North State. Have her come and holler at Mr. Williams. I got her, G. I got her. All right, I'm gonna shut up.
Salute. Shout out to the brothers that just came to the panel. What's up, brothers? Which one of y'all want to speak first?
Yo, it's JT. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, bro? How you?
I'm good. Only thing I'm gonna say a few things. It's like this. The bottom line is we gotta break the cycle. We have to understand it's not all about I no more. It's all about we. And we have to find a way to chip in to support each other no matter what. That means if you have that personal number, give that brother a call, encourage them, because you don't know what that person is going through. No matter if he has a family or he don't. We have to take little steps, and then we join and do the big things in our community. We have the blueprint in the past how to be done. We got to fall back and see how the brothers are doing in the past, and we could take snipes here and there to uplift our community. We in a crisis. This is not the time to fall back and pointing fingers. And it goes for me too. Definitely it goes for me too. Self-reliance and soul searching. We have to do it right now. Because if we don't, our community is going to crumble. And the only ones that's going to blame is for ourselves. And that's all I'm going to say, my brother. Thanks for you. Peace to you and your foundation.
Peace, bro. No doubt. T-Duck, what's going on with it, bro?
Hey, all is well. What's up with the bros?
Cooling, bro.
Hey, yeah, y'all, I'm not going to reiterate what y'all said so profusely and so strongly and so proudly and just, I mean, like I said, I always say you the Tupac of consciousness. And Brother Rob, you just blew me away with that. Like, you really in tune too. So it's just like we see magic, pretty much not that black magic or white magic shit. We just see some good things happening right now. And I hope people are able to digest what you two brothers brought to the table. So I'm not going to waste my time reiterating everything that y'all said so profoundly. I'm going to just add to this. We also have to consider generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because that plays a part in the development of a society of people as well. So for those who have a skill and who have the ability to ensure that, you know, you're not just living good for now and you wasting it on material things, but you actually putting that money away so that, you know, your grandchildren's children will live comfortably and they can focus on the necessary things that we need. And with that being the case, you'll see a lot more funding to our development and things of that nature. Because if you look at it like this, if anybody's a student of any, I know Brother Rob is, and I know DS1 play like he don't have no education, but he's smart as hell. What all these scholarly people, the Lebanons, the what's a couple other, the Newtons and all of them, all those people we hear about in the history books, the fathers of science and things of that nature, they was, for the majority of the part, they was down and out just like us. They just had the will and the knowledge to learn. And they were funded by these rich people who would take basically credit for their works, but they wasn't doing the works. They would actually fund these people to do these things. So that being said, we need to find us a grant writer or even put us a grant writer through school. We need to make sure that our messages reach the right ears, because you can't get blood, how we say it, water off a rock or blood out of a rock. You know what I'm saying? People really don't have it. So, but there are people with it. And it's like a lot of people have you believe that if they got it, they for the ops. But in reality, it's some people that have it and is just as conscious as me and you and want to see something done. They just may be tender in age or just don't have the time or the ability or the capabilities to do what it is you two fine brothers is doing right now. So you got to find them and reach out to them and let them know, like, you ready to take that stance. But what comes with it is great responsibility. But I don't think that neither one of y'all get deterred from it, because it seemed like y'all got all 10 toes down. So the issue being, when it comes to funding, the money is out there if we're talking about money, but we have to also appreciate life more so than we appreciate wealth and things of that nature. We have to find strength and beauty and just in the present. And like JT saying, the best support you could do is keep your brother's spirits up. You know what I'm saying? And if the case comes to a point to where you gotta financially help him out, like y'all said, bring 20 loaves. You know what I'm saying? Let him know he covered. But at the end of the day, we all got to put in the work. Generational wealth structure will also be something phenomenal for us to have. The Asians got the tongs. You know, everybody got their little clubs, you know, where it's just for that particular culture, where they, you know, when people come in, they got that luxury of coming in here. You know what I'm saying? They meet up there. They establish them. They put them in certain, you know, they give them certain benefits and things of that nature. But people pay they dues and everything to it. So we just have to get into that type of mind state and understand that we got to stop playing victim. That's not going to get you nowhere. That's not becoming of a man. A man is always going to be victimized. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be victimized than have, like Brother Rob said, or DS1, a shorty victimized, or, you know what I'm saying, our women victimized. So we got to take the blunt end of whatever coming at us. And at the same time, we can't scare everybody else by acting scary. You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's nothing wrong with being scared, but it's what you do in that time. You know what I'm saying? You either going to become a coward or you're going to become courageous. Because not every, I did a show yesterday where I talk about life is like winding stairs. You know what I'm saying? You're not able to see everything that's going to come to you. So you got that little cautiousness about it. But the man with courage is always going to put one foot right in front of the other, because he got the courage to know that he may not know what's coming ahead, but he's going to do whatever it needs to be done in order to keep going. And that's the mentality we got to have. That's that self-development. That's dealing with the several liberal arts and sciences. That's dealing with faith. It's dealing with everything other than what was and what could be and what is. It's not a fantasy. It's reality. And you got to live it out thoroughly. You only get one shot at this. And I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say, because then I'll just be going back into what y'all was saying. But that's all I got. Peace, bruh.
Salute, bro. You know, I'm glad you definitely, you know, you added what you added, because that's a key point, generational wealth. That's definitely a key point. And, you know, everybody tune in tomorrow. Before I introduce my brother Megalodon, shout out to you, bro. Before I introduce you, I just want to say tomorrow, me and brother Rob got an excellent show coming up, and we going to touch on what the brother T Duck just got into with generational wealth. It's called The Exorcism of the Black Bum. We're going to be talking about us getting this bum mentality out of us. And it's going to be called swagger therapy. We need swagger therapy, y'all. So I'm glad you touched on that, T-Duck. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you, bro. Megalodon, what's up, bro? It's good to see you here, man. You a day one supporter. Glad to hear your voice, bro. Salute.
Thank you very much. Salute to you, to the great mind of our brother DS1. Yes, I just wanted to join all of this greatness on the panel, talking about love and coming back to our original selves. You know, we have as the brother said, you know, a major problem in the community right now. And it does start with us, brothers like Brother Rob in Chicago doing what he's doing, brother like DS1, even though you're not getting paid, I heard you say that, but, you know, eventually you'll get the support by the grace of God that you need, you know, where you can do more for the brothers in the community. So your work is just as valuable. You know, you got the brothers T-Duck doing what he does, you know. It all starts with us, leaders of today, in our own circles. And that's how I came up. You know, I just stopped being the problem in my immediate circle. So instead of me being that individual who was going to be on the news because I lost control, because somebody may have did something to me that I could have handled another way, but I chose to go and lay another brother down. That would have been on me. So the first thing I did was get out of that mindset as much as I can. And I would advise any of our black men out there to start with that. Start with the fact that you don't want to be in a position to say to yourself, man, do I got to take this dude out? And when we say dude, we know we're talking about one of our own kind. So let's start with that. Let's start with not adding to the problem. Let's start with not taking that young girl who we know is looking for a father image, and instead of giving her good guidance, we fall victim to our lust, and now we're part of the problem once again. Let's start with the things that we can do as individuals, whatever it might be, giving back to a lady who might be down on her luck, but you come around as not somebody who's trying to get into her pants, but really there as someone who's adding to the wealth of the family. Whether the father might not be there, he might be away for a minute, he might not be there for whatever reason, I don't know. But we just coming around to give goodness, and I think if we start with giving back goodness in our own circle, that'll be the first start. In terms of us, let's just start supporting one another, because we got all these great minds, but it's very hard for us to come together for whatever reason and support one another. Whether it's my ego or whether it's just my ignorance, I don't know. I'm speaking of me because I'm just using myself as the example, but we have to start with supporting one another. So if DS1 has a program that he's doing, I should be one of his supporters, one of his day one supporters, really doing something. So things like that, I think we'll be all right. So I really just wanted to say, let's just start right there, not being the problem in our own circle, our own community, our own families, and then we can do this organizational thing. And that's a great foundation right there, family.
Facts, bro. That was big. That was big, man. I'm glad y'all brothers came through and, supported the show and added to it, man, because it's so much things that y'all brothers is bringing that, now that y'all saying it, it's like, damn, it goes right in alignment with it, because that's very important too, as far as not adding to the bullshit, because it's hard. As y'all can see, over the summer, I went back to my old neighborhood that I made a decision to move out of because of what this brother just said, man. Whenever you in that environment, no matter how conscious you are, no matter how pro-black you are, no matter how much you love your goddamn people, you got to protect yourself from your own people. And you always have to have that mindset. I might have to put one of these niggas down. That's why I left. That's why when I had my children, I left. Because I don't want my sons to grow up. That's why we don't even live in New York no more. Because I don't want my sons to grow up with that rigid life, with always having to walk around and defend yourself and always be on defense. Not to be aware, but to be on defense. See, when you in New York, you in Brooklyn or whatever, you can't walk around sleep. Just like Chicago, you can't walk around sleep, especially if you walk through a block and it's quiet. Don't walk on a sidewalk. See, if I walk through a block and it's quiet, I'm walking in the street because I need to see everything coming at me. You see, you can't even relax in that environment. You can't have patience with a brother if he tries to disrespect you, because all these idiots are watching. So now it's like, if I let this dude get away with this, the next idiot gonna try the same shit. So the best thing for brothers like us is to get out of it, because it's gonna come to that point if it didn't come to that point already for a brother. So that's big what you said, Megalodon. I'm glad you brought that up, bro, because that's one of the main reasons why niggas need to leave the hood, because it's gonna lead to that at some point. At some point, it's going to lead to that. And I saw my life headed that route because, you know, if you're not a sucker, you know, you intelligent, you this, you that, but you're not a sucker. A lot of times in the hood, they think you sweet, man. Oh, he one of them conscious niggas. He one of them Talib Kweli ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? Till you put homeboy on his back pockets, and now he gotta, you know, prove that he a man again. So, you know, he gonna get his tool. So now what you gonna do? You gonna stand there and let that man, you know? So that's big, bro. I'm glad you brought that up, bro. Anybody else want to touch on that?
I'll just add this real quick. It's definitely difficult because you brought up exactly. I was about to ask Megalodon that same question. Like, what about people now looking at you like you food? And it's just like, you know, you got to take that chance nowadays because it ain't worth it. Because then you'll just, like you said, land yourself in jail or get injured, and then people don't even keep it at you no more. If they can't get to you, like, this ain't how the game's supposed to be, but if they can't get to you, they start attacking your woman or your kids and all types of little cornball stuff. But like other cultures, not to say all, but a few, like, they allow the squares to be squares. You know what I'm saying? They allow the conscious to be conscious. And, you know, it's those fail safes. They got that community watch type thing, that hidden element, that underground element, that mafioso part of it. And you would take your grief. You wouldn't handle that grievance yourself. They would handle it for you because they know that, you know, they shouldn't be victimizing you. And we got to get to a level like that. We got to have a little like squad or brothers and sisters that, you know, have that type of repertoire and ready to get down and dirty for people who are victimized, that are not necessarily down with that, you know, that lifestyle. Like, people not in that lifestyle is not supposed to be tampered with or provoked. But at the same time, we don't need the people that's like somebody like you. We need to protect you. We don't need you out there reckless. You ain't got to show us you tough and all that. Just, you know, holler at the ones that's with the shit and let them know what's going on, and they take care of it. They're supposed to take care of it without pay or anything like that, because we got to keep you thriving. And that's what we do. We allow brothers like yourselves, this whole panel, all of y'all got substance and everything, but we'll have y'all put in your own work. And it's unnecessary. Like, we lose out that way. And it's too many of us that's out here with the shit. So why will we allow leader types like y'all to involve yourselves and stuff like that? Y'all just buzz us in. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what's going down and we take it from there.
Please include yourself, Brother T-Duck, because you're one of the leaders too, man. So we got to protect you also. Hey, no, you also. But look, no, you also. But listen. No, you also. We include you. But listen to this, family. One of my rules was leave and don't go back unless I'm giving back. So I never went back to my old neighborhood to sell weed on the block. I never went back to my old neighborhood to go get one of the young ladies and have a little fun. I never went back to my neighborhood to do anything unless I was going to say what's up to the family, the older ladies or the homeboys or whoever it might have been, you know, on a day where it was a park day or a game by a candlestick. You know, come up from over there on Double Rock also. That's in San Francisco. And basically, I never went back unless I was giving back. And that's my golden rule. If I can't add to it, I'm not going back. So I think we should have less contact with our people unless we're doing something positive. That's it. If you're not doing something positive, stay away. Just like Brother Diaz once said, get out.
Yep. And see, the key to that is we got to get out our egos, black men, because too many times when a dude lead the hood, they say, oh, What, they ran you out the hood? Oh, why you ain't coming back to the hood? Oh, you think you better than the hood? We got to start ignoring all that ignorant, retarded shit. We have to chalk it up to being ignorant and being retarded and leave it at that and leave it there. That's not gangster. There's nothing real about that. The only thing real in life, black man, is progress. That's gangster. That's what's gangster. Progress, elevation. So all that shit of you left your hood and they ran you out the hood bullshit, scratch that. Let them say that shit, young black man. Whatever they got to say, let them say that shit. Because guess what? What's not gangster is being in the same place where your father went to jail at, where your uncle got killed at, where your cousins got killed at, where your mama's a hoe at. It ain't gangster to stay there and be a victim like they were. Ain't nothing gangster about that. So understand what's gangster, little homie. Only thing gangster is progress. Because if you go back, that's what all the OGs taught us. To be better than us. All the OGs taught us that. To be better than us. To do it bigger than what we did. That's progress. So that's the only thing gangster, man. Stop ignoring that stupid block shit. Talking about they ran you off your block. You better leave your block. There's a world around the corner, fool.
Well, I just wanted to weigh back in, and it was something that T Duck had said that that definitely struck a chord with me, and it was something else I wanted to say, right? You know, it's great that we see some people taking action and making things happen. There's brothers out here that's actually doing the work and they being successful, right? And you know, I commend them brothers and I don't wish them nothing but success, right? But we have to look at the facts, right? These are the facts. There are consequences for your inaction, right? Just because you're not doing anything, that don't mean that there are not consequences for not doing anything. Because it's an author. His name is Howard Zinn, right? Howard Zinn got this little series, and the theme of it: you cannot be neutral on a moving train. You can't be neutral on a moving train. So the premise is this: whether you like it or not, oh man, I don't bother with politics. You're involved in politics. Man, I don't get down with religion or religious debates. It doesn't matter if you're not in them or not. They're still gonna be had. You can't stick your head in the sand. Don't take no sides, and don't think that it ain't gonna still come to your door. It is. It's plenty of innocent people that get killed all of the time. All of the time. It's consequences for your inaction. So my suggestion, right? My suggestion. If you go get stabbed, fam, get stabbed in the front, fam, not in the back. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna go, fam, go marching, fam. Go marching. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell my shouties, bro. If you gonna go into the lion's den, don't go in that motherfucker tiptoeing. You know what I'm saying? If you done broke away, you know, from the gang, you ain't with that shit no more. Tell them niggas that shit. I ain't with this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? This shit is stupid, and start preaching and sounding like me out there. Fuck it. Whatever it is, if you gonna do it big. You know what I'm saying? Do it big. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying fail big. I ain't saying smoke weed as much as you can big. No, that ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you get in your heart and in your mind, this is the right thing to do it all the way. You got to be willing to go all the way. Guns blazing. You know what I'm saying? You going to the lion's den, fam. you got your spear ready, and hell, you would stab a shadow of a lion. It'd be better to stab the shadow and get bit up, be, fighting and scratching and clawing, to your death, than go in there tiptoeing and get destroyed, man. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's consequences for your inaction. You know what I'm saying? And these are the 3 words, brother. And I'm going to shut up again. Right? The 3 words. Ambivalence, apathy, and aloofness. If you suffer from any 3 of them motherfuckers, right, it's time for you to get off your ass and get busy. All right, and that's it.
No, that's facts. That's facts. And I'm going to close on my note of saying to the brothers, even if you are doing something like that ghetto dream we all used to have, I'm going to get rich being the #1 dope man. So even though you up in the early morning and you out to the early AM, it might not be the right action. So what we also have to figure out is creating some new goals for ourselves, some new directions, and being man enough and woman enough to look in the mirror and say, this is what I'm doing now. Because, in a sense, when you're born into the neighborhood, I'm going to give a shout out to my other neighborhood, Fillmore, in San Francisco, because those are the neighborhoods that I was raised in only because I had no choice. I was born in Fillmore because my mom stayed there. And when they told us we had to move to Double Rock, that's what we did. So I didn't have a choice of where I was raised at. So when you're born in a lot of times somebody give you a weapon. A lot of times somebody gives you drugs when you're young. I started smoking weed, as a young dude. They gave me the weed. They gave me the gin. It's a part of your environment. But guess what? When you start rising up, you got to recognize that some of the things we did when we were young is wrong. So, even though I'm a dude who made mistakes, I used to give marijuana and drink to my little cousins and shit. I'm wrong for that, but it was the ghetto lifestyle. There was kids, man, and I'm giving them 40 ounces and fucking chronic and all this shit, and that was wrong. So now I don't promote young kids getting high and drinking and all that stuff because I can acknowledge that I grew up wrong and now I'm against that. Now, if you're doing it, I'm not against you. I'm just saying I'm not going to be giving no weed to no youngster who haven't even developed his mind. I'm not going to do it. So, some of the actions we do, y'all, we have to give them up and realize, even though we've been doing it, it might not be the right thing to do. So do something that's right, family. And I love y'all.
No doubt, bro. That's big, man. That's big. That's accountability. Accountability, y'all. And that's a perfect example of him healing from his situation, not him staying stuck and saying, well, they gave me the gin, they gave me the weed, I'm gonna give it to them. Shit, that's what they taught me. I'm gonna teach y'all that shit. No, he realized, identified it was wrong because how it fucked him up, and then said, listen, I'm not gonna do that to the next generation because it's my responsibility not to fuck up the next kid. I'm gonna be the new example in the neighborhood. I'm gonna be that alternative lifestyle and not the alternative lifestyle of, somebody forcing you or shaping your mind to be something else, but the alternative to be the right way. So that was big, man. Anything else y'all got to say, man, before I close this show?
Well, this is JT again. Like I told you before, DS, I be walking the streets. So lately, when I know I get off work, maybe 7 or 8, I go take a shower, take the uniform off, and I walk those streets. And then what I do, instead I walk around the block, I said to myself, let me walk 3 or 4 blocks And kind of find out, it was like a lot of things was happening. And I've been talking to the brothers and everything. Even sometimes they say that I don't have no money. Listen, you know, I got some food in the house. I said, yeah, matter of fact, let's go to 7-Eleven. I get them some. And I talk to them. Even though I be tired on my feet like 12 or 13, 14 hours. And I don't want no credit because this is what I want to do. It's an obligation. But little they know, I get more of what I do if they could imagine. When they see me in the street, they tell me, "Are you all right?" Wow, what do you mean I'm good? Because we miss you on the block. I said, okay, let me talk. I take it to McDonald's and I talk to them. Because I have to understand that, like the brother said, they are future. So I have to make sacrifice within myself. As for me, as a brother, when I have kids, I have to understand those are my kids in the community. So that means I am a community father, uncle, no matter what you call it. And I urge the ones who do not have kids, there's work to do in our community. Go ahead and do it. Don't let no outsider label you for what you could do. You just do the work. And that's all I'm saying. Thanks again, my brother DS.
No doubt, no doubt. Anybody else before we close up?
I just want to appreciate the opportunity, bro. It's good. Things back to being natural. I just want to say real quick, I just wanted to give a testimony to my shout out to J-Mo. If anybody from Frisco, they know who J-Mo is. Hunters Point legend, but he ain't no gangster, nothing that. He run with the Moms, Temple 27. But this was a time, he from Hunters Point. And when he brought up Fillmore, it just brought me a story because at the time, the mosque was in Fillmore at L.A. Hill Hutch. And J-Mo had to go to Fillmore in order to go to the mosque. And at the time, the mosque was beef. I mean, not the mosque, but Fillmore and Hunters Point was beefing. So, but what made me, you know, if my haircut up in a point, he would be there amongst all the riffraffs because this dude named Sunni, and he became a Muslim. Sunni would cut hair up there, and brother J-Mo would just stand there. This dude he tall, but he's skinny. He ain't nobody that look like he just about to knock somebody out. You know what I'm saying? He suited and booted, got his pies and his papers. And you know, all walks of life would come through there to get their hair cut. They smoking their weed, doing their powder, whatever they do, you know. And you know, talking crazy and everything. He'd just sit there pretty much in silence, just stand there, not sit there. And but when he come down off that hill and go back, you know, to Kirkwood or whatever, he'd have all those papers gone and all those pies gone. So my point in saying is like, them brothers knew that they had, even though they was living a rough life, it's like they had to sponsor. It contests to what you're saying. Them brothers knew that they had to sponsor the people that's doing the right thing. So I hope that solidifies with people and y'all understand where the brother DS1 is coming from. Even if you ain't making your money right, even if you're making your money right, you still have to sponsor those who are trying to do the right thing. And with that, I salute you and everybody else on the panel. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Megla know J-Mo.
Yes, I do know Brother J-Mo. That's why I came back on, man. I dropped off, but I came back on to say that brother right there is my personal angel. He's the one. No, he's my personal angel. He's the one who I met when I was really going through it. In fact, about it, let me tell you this real story, this quick story before I let it go. My best friend had just got shot. I was with him the night he had got shot. And so the next day, what happens is your mind is really going crazy. And you know, for that whole day and the next, after we started getting our minds right, once he healed up, because by the grace of God, he didn't die. But once he started getting healed up, my mind said, man, we need to load up on guns because I can't let these dudes play me no more. So, right when I said to myself, I need to load up on guns, me and him, you know, because it's my best friend. He was healed up, spent some time healing up. We said, we ain't letting these dudes play us no more. Now, listen, we was wrong too, because cars would be rolling down 3rd Street, and instead of us just being regular dudes, we got our face all in they fucking car, mean mugging them. So we got some problems too, black men. You know, we used to walk around, as we call it, as with the mug. You know, every time you look at a brother's face, he's mugging you like, nigga, what's up? So I had to stop doing that because a few times I did that, brothers turned around, and that's what happened. They turned around and they had weapons on them, and they made us kind of like walk away. We couldn't do shit because we didn't have no weapons. We just was feeling ourselves. And that's when I said, man, we got to get some weapons. But right when I started thinking like that, God sent Brother Jamo in my life and gave me another alternative besides mugging your black brother. Because a lot of times, family, we bring that negative energy on ourselves. I used to walk outside when I was a youngster, go to the mall, and our whole objective, I swear to God, this sounds terrible, but we used to say, let's go start some shit. I was in a group home at the time. We would wake up and go to the mall with the intentions of starting some shit. And I feel embarrassed now. The shit I used to do, you know, the one incident which I really regret, you know, us just mugging a brother, he with his little lady in the mall, me and my boy, and we just walking around mugging him, trying to fight him. No reason at all. We woke up out the bed and said, let's go start some shit. So we got healing to do before we build, like our brother DS1 always says. So thank you very much for allowing me to say that story, family. Yes.
Big man. I'm glad you did that, man. I'm glad you know you brought that up too, T Duck, for you signed out, because you know when dealing with black men, man, you know, and dealing with the fact that we go through a lot of shit, we need real life examples. So we need to hear those stories. You know, we need to hear about the Charles Macklins. We need to hear these stories, you know, and we need real brothers who was there, who was on them front lines, you know, who was in the mud, who was doing certain shit, to stand up and tell these stories, you know, because then that'll make these young brothers know that it's real, that these dudes ain't just talking, you know, they ain't just trying to finesse us. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how these young dudes take older dudes. When they tell them shit now, they think you just a nigga trying to tell them what to do, you know? But with these type of stories and incidents, man, it makes it real to them, man. It makes them see it, you know, and not just hear it. So shout out to y'all, man. You want to close out, Brother Rob?
Well, man, like always, good brother, man. I appreciate you having me on. In closing, I just like to say that we gotta have more empathy and more patience with ourselves. You know, we got to be able to forgive ourselves so that we won't take that hurt out on somebody else. Really, a lot of times that's what it start from. It start from you not being able to get over some insecurity or what have you. So that's why I'm saying, you know, we'll build on it tomorrow. But self development is key. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta heal before we build, like you say, man. You said it best, good brother. We gotta heal before we build. But man. Love to everybody and love to everybody in the chat and love for having me on tonight, good brother.
No doubt, man. It's a pleasure to be, you know, amongst stand-up men, man, you know. So shout out to y'all brothers for coming through, man, supporting me, you know. This definitely motivated me to see y'all come on and add to the bill too, you know. So shout out to y'all brothers, brother Rob, Megalodon, T Duck, my brother JT, of course. You know, shout out to everybody who came through. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. You know, shout out to everybody who liked the video. If you listening, you haven't liked, hit the like button. Make sure y'all subscribe and stay tuned. Me and brother Rob will be back tomorrow with a show, y'all. You know, it's called Swagger Therapy, the exorcism of the black bum. It's time for us to get that bum shit out of us, man. We need therapy with our swagger. So tune in tomorrow, y'all. Y'all been tuned in to Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I'm your host, DS1 Ross. Shout out to everybody again. Y'all enjoy your day tomorrow. Y'all stay safe. And hopefully I'll see y'all soon. Peace.
Peace.